Yes. That wasn't good! You're dead!
And all at once I knew at once, I knew it needed me.
I have so much strength in me, you have no idea.
The day I died, I don't know why, I knew he needed me.
I have a love in my life. It makes me stronger than anything you can imagine.
He needs me, 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 he needs me.
Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
And I'm David Whiting.
And in a weird chain of events, David, this will be our final recording of a Paul Thomas Anderson episode for close to 5 months.
Yeah, you're off to the sea.
I'm off on the 7 seas. I'm off traveling, which is apt for this film. But you listeners will only have to wait 7 days. The miracle of time. But the just remembered something. There we go. Tickety-boo. Yes, the miracle of time, ladies and gentlemen. And I actually think that this is a good dividing line.
In Anderson's work, yes.
In Anderson's oeuvre. This is Punch Drunk Love. This is also set in the San Fernando Valley. And then we're going to take a 5-year break. Well, he will, and we'll take a 5-month break. And then we'll be in the world of There Will Be Blood and the world of The Master and these huge, sweeping,
fake pieces.
Yeah, psychological, heady dramas. And somewhere between the huge character sprawling natures of Boogie Nights and Magnolia, and somewhere in between the psychological drama, character studied dramas of The Master and There Will Be Blood, we get Punch Drunk Love. Just a little nifty movie.
Weirdest romantic comedy.
Yes. I think it's his most absurd film. I know I'm speaking at you, not with you, because you haven't seen the other 5, but I think this is his most absurdist movie.
I mean, it certainly did feel absurd. I mean, that whole opening car crash that is never factored in again. We never see where the truck that flipped over went. We never get an explanation of why this harmonium was left on the side of the street. Yeah.
And I don't know if I do believe this, because I haven't watched Inherent Vice since it came out. But this is probably low on my ranking. I still like it an awful lot. But I don't know what it is. This movie, it doesn't
break top 10 for you.
No, nowhere near. It doesn't break probably doesn't break top 100, which is weird to say he's my favorite director. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't click for me.
It's not sad enough.
No, because what else do I love, David? I love romance. I love a happy ending. I love a good rom-com, and I love romance. I love romantic movies. I don't know what it is. I think I think it's a little bit.
It is a strange one. It's very offbeat kind of humor. I think this movie sometimes leaves you kind of wondering, so what am I supposed to feel at this moment, sort of thing.
It leaves me somewhat cold.
Yeah, I felt at points like although I think the relationship between Adam Sandler and Emily Watson is a cute one, and they have good chemistry on screen and all, it almost, I don't know, there was something about it where I was like, well, this is just too easy. It sort of felt like I could see the hand of the author a little bit. It felt like just making things work out.
I think she's weird. I think that's, I think from an early point you said to me, is this going to be the world's like whatever, what did you say?
It was like the mediocre white man has all of his problems fixed by the love of his life.
But not just even mediocre, just these guys who are deeply troubled in so many ways. We're going to take a small break. People never call me, and then they always call during the podcast. That was such a call. But it wasn't a phone call like the nature of Punch Drunk Love. David, it's fair to say that during Boogie Nights, during the many extended sex scenes, I realized rather quickly, why the hell did I plan for us to watch these movies? If these were on Netflix, it would be so much easier. Right, genuine question. Do you think your opinion of Boogie Nights would have changed if you were watching it alone and not sat with me, furiously typing?
I don't necessarily think so. No, I mean, it lends a certain air to any movie when I'm sitting there watching it with you, because it's a movie that Tom wants to show me. So it must be there's something in there worth watching.
There was a very funny running joke you had where every time there was something horribly graphic, sexual, violent, or depraved, you would say, like the gay bashing or the roller girl experiment. Don't just ram it in there. That's Roller Girl. Any of that, you would go, Tom's fifth favorite movie, ladies and gentlemen.
Top 10. Tom's top 10.
I should make that video and edit the most sick, depraved moments of my top 30 movies and just have a montage. It's just the gang rape from Shawshank Redemption. It's just the lotion in the basket from Silence of the Lambs. It's
all the darkest moments from every piece of
Billy Babbitt's suicide from Cuckoo's Nest. It's the dead girl in the bed from Godfather Part 2. It's the slapping Diane Keaton across the face. Diane from Godfather 2. What else?
And all of this comes together to make you.
And then it goes,
and then it's just your smiling face slowly being superimposed over all of it, fading into the end of the montage.
And then dun 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 dun. Great, yeah. Magnolia. It's just, did you touch her? I don't know. It's just that clip, and you're like,
I don't know. It's just that conversation on a loop for an hour and a half.
How did you know what I fall asleep to? The Punch Drunk Love. When the phone sex scene started, David, did you think, oh my God, why has Tom organized us to watch these dirty movies together?
No, honestly, I was the phone sex scene in this felt completely different from Boogie Nights, in that Adam Sandler wasn't engaging in the phone sex. He was just trying to have a nice conversation. And
well, no, it does end with him masturbating.
It does end with him masturbating, but it's not the entire scene, I guess. Most of the scene is him just trying to talk to somebody. And then it ends. Yeah.
I was thinking about this with Boogie Nights. I think we watched Boogie Nights the right way, because let's not get TMI, but I'm guessing, David, that when we watch pornographic material, it is alone. Whereas in Boogie Nights, this is the world of the 70s, where people would go to movie theaters.
And masturbate next to each other.
Like, there would be dates obviously there's the taxi driver date, which is a whole different deal. But like, people would go see Deep Throat. Deep Throat was one of the biggest movies of that year.
Yeah, it was an industry. It was a film industry in a way. It was like the little shadow industry of Hollywood, you know.
Yeah, and we had a small part of that pie the other day when we watched Boogie Nights together. Punch Drunk Love. Yeah, I don't want to be overly negative, because there is so much in this movie that I really, really do love. But I don't. It just doesn't click for me. People always put Hard A at the bottom, but I don't know. I will do rankings later.
I would say certainly Hard Eight carries you through a story much faster. The pacing of this one is a little more frenetic and kind of all over the place. And sometimes the story is moving along very quickly, and sometimes we're kind of just watching Adam Sandler be a nervous wreck. And it doesn't always feel like you're building to the next thing. Whereas I think with Boogie Nights and Hard Eight and Magnolia, it always felt like we're watching this because it's building to something, and then it's building to something else, and building to something else. And sometimes it was hard to tell what was happening in this.
Mood. There was a sense
Yes.
of it's always a sense of mood with this rather than plot. And,
Yeah.
and I guess you could say that about a lot of what do you call it? Yeah, like romance movies. Like there's no plot really, they just fall in love. And this has, some might say, I wouldn't say that, I think it's what makes the film. This has so much more plot than any rom-com should ever have. You have the frequent flyer miles, the pudding, the phone sex, the harmonium. What is with that harmonium, Barry? What is all that pudding, Barry? I mean, the amount of times people ask him about the pudding and that's not for sale. And I let's talk about Adam Sandler, because that's the biggest part of this pie, is that Paul Thomas Anderson was kept oh my God, people kept asking him, what's your next movie going to be? And he said, it's an Adam Sandler comedy. And people laughed. They thought he was joking, because let's talk about Adam Sandler's career prior to 2002. There's not because nowadays we sort of know the second prong.
We default to like Grown Ups and The Longest Yard and that sort of thing.
Oh yeah. Producer, writer, actor, composer. Where is it? Actor.
Is it?
Actor. Here we go. Actor. So before Punch Drunk Love as Barry Egan, we of course have so he's a Saturday Night Live alum, obviously. The first big movies are Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Wedding Singer, Dirty Work, as Satan, Big Daddy, Little Nicky, and then Punch Drunk Love. What's your Adam Sandler experience, David?
So I've seen some of those. I haven't seen not Caddyshack, Jesus.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore. I've never sat down and watched all of Happy Gilmore, but I've seen parts of it. A lot of my experience with Adam Sandler, I think one of the very first movies of his I ever saw was Big Daddy.
Yeah, Big Daddy's. Yeah, I like Big Daddy. I like Wedding Singer. I like Happy Gilmore a lot. It's kind of where it ends for me. If we're talking about just the comedies.
It becomes just Adam Sandler sex comedies with his buddies. And you know what? Respect to the guy's hustle. He makes plenty of money off of them.
Absolutely, yeah.
We all want to be in Adam Sandler's position where we get to make multi-million-dollar movies with our friends about whatever the hell we want. So I can't fault him for that.
But also, David, if that was us and that was our friendship group, and we were all in Hawaii with our significant others and all of our friends, wouldn't I still, and even if I was getting millions, I would still feel like, no, come on, let's have a look at that scene again. Let's try again. I don't know. Maybe this is because
that's us. I think, Adam Sandler's an SNL alum. So are a lot of the friends that he works with in his movies. I think they're going for raunchy sex comedy, and it doesn't need to be deep, and it doesn't need to have much to say generally.
I mean, you look at American Pie, and that has quite a tight script. And Caddyshack, obviously. I mean, Caddyshack is tied for my 10th favorite film of all time. I love Caddyshack with all my life. I'm not going to go.
It's a lot of work making a movie like that, I think. And you can crank out a Grown Ups every couple of years, and no one's going to bat an eyelash,
Yeah, and people are going to pay for it. People are going to pay for it, and people are going to pay to watch. And now he's in the Netflix machine, and that is even more of a goddamn machine. But anyway,
why would he do anything else?
Wedding Singer, it feels like a major exception. I love The Wedding Singer. Do you like The Wedding Singer, David? Have you seen The Wedding Singer?
Is this the one where he wears the fake ring where he tells his sad story about how he was married and his wife is being terrible to him, and it's how he gets other women to sleep with him?
No.
Then I'm thinking of something completely different. Yeah, I don't think I've seen The Wedding Singer.
Wedding Singer is the one set in the 80s where he's a wedding singer and he falls in love with Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, no.
Wedding Singer's great. Wedding Singer's really, really good. And it's set in the 80s, but it's obviously 1998. And so there's all these sort of like, I don't know what it is. It came in like a time before the huge boom of 80s nostalgia. So for me, it still feels pretty fresh. I mean, I always quote this joke. It's a really funny joke. You guys are going to last forever, like Donald and Ivana, OJ and Nicole, Mia and Woody. Like, it's just a really funny little joke. And it sort of, for me, it feels different from the sort of, whoa, it's the 80s and you know, and all that sort of shit.
But as far as how I feel about Adam Sandler, I think he's an excellent actor when he wants to be.
Yes, this is the thing. But also, here's my theory. He is an excellent actor, undoubtedly, when he is cast well. Adam Sandler's comedy and Adam Sandler's best dramas, Uncut Gems, Meyerowitz Stories, Punch Drunk Love, all have one major thing in common: anxiety.
He plays anxiety so well.
Punch Drunk Love is anxiety-inducing. Uncut Gems nearly gave me and my dad palpitations.
Such a hard movie to sit and watch.
And Meyerowitz Stories as well. Obviously, that's a Noah Baumbach, like, New York comedy drama. But
he's still playing the anxious man.
Filled with anxiety. Like, there's this incredibly funny scene in Meyerowitz Stories where he's just trying to park a car in New York for 5 minutes, and it's absolutely hilarious. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? And then it keeps cutting out the scenes. It's very funny. But and I was thinking about this with Paul Thomas Anderson, because somebody was talking about Licorice Pizza, and they were talking about how he helps Alana Haim and Cooper Hoffman as Gary Valentine, because he helps them as first-time actors, because it's great performances, but he puts them in positions to succeed, like running. You can't act running. You have to be running and you have to be out of breath. And there is something about a script and a camera movement and extended one-shot scenes where you're giving Sandler as Barry Egan, okay, you're going to come back, you're going to come here. Then you need to go over there to answer your sister's phone call. How many sisters do you have? 7. You have to keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And that will naturally get into the body and anxiety in a sense of rhythm that obviously fucking makes this movie the best it is when it's excellent.
I think one of the big strengths, it seems, having watched what we've watched so far, is that Paul Thomas Anderson seems to be a very good actors director, and that he gives his actors a lot of space to perform. Like, there's a lot of long shots that give people time to be immersed in the scene and really take time to perform and get into it.
There was an interview, maybe it's an audio commentary. I don't know. Maybe this is bullshit. But there's an interview I remember, and he's talking about his scripts and how he very rarely puts shocked, surprised, excited. He very rarely puts those sorts of directions into the script. And he feels like you're hiring a plumber and then telling them what to do. I mean, that is completely just what I've made up.
It is. No, I would say that is. I think people have a tendency to sort of think of actors as sort of just like a vessel for the writer and director to tell a story through, and there's some truth in that. But actors are artists as well that need to make choices for their performances and to create their characters. And I think it seems like what Paul Thomas Anderson does is casts a lot of really good character actors and some big names, and basically says, go ahead, and this is the story, here's the script, and we're gonna find this character together, essentially.
Neil Simon talked about Mike Nichols and said he's the best director for comedy he's ever seen, because he's never said to an actor, no, absolute opposite way around. Mike Nichols said that Neil Simon's the best comedy playwright he's ever met, because he's never said to an actor, when a joke doesn't work, he's never said, you're saying it wrong. He always just rewrites the joke. And I've always tried, that has always stuck at the back of my mind, David.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be your method.
I know, this is the problem. I have always tried to keep that at the back of my mind. I want to be Neil Simon. I want to have Mike Nichols' appreciation. Mike Nichols is dead. But like, I want Mike Nichols' appreciation. Please. But
I'll say the fucking joke.
Yeah, I'll say the fucking line.
And for those of you who don't know, we do lots of readings of Tom's screenplays, and you can see it in his body when someone reads a joke wrong.
It is the one example. I can hear it right now. And the line was, and it was a fake Oscars, and it was this outrageously long title, and it was Michael Douglas in The Buck Stops Here, and I should know because my name is Buck, and the buck stops here. And I wanted to make it longer, but I thought, no, that's fine. Or maybe it was Clint Eastwood. Anyway, whatever. And the way that the person said it was like, Michael Douglas in The Buck Stops Here. And I should know because my name is Buck. And the buck stops here. And I was like, and that's
you had a damn seizure in your chair.
I was like, oh God. And that's horrible of me because it's a cold read. And literally a fortnight from now, and a day, we're going to be doing almost 100 pages of comedy, and I need to prepare myself.
You need to prepare yourself for some missed jokes.
Let's talk about some comedy that really, really lands. Let's talk about some 10-minute stretches. Actually, is this true? Are these funny? I think they are, but they're stress-inducing, but they're funny, but it's absolutely anxiety-inducing.
Yes, let's hear it.
I have a first nomination. I've named it Chaos and Stress. And this is John Bryan's Tampala music or whatever it's called. I used it in a short film once. The and it's just this pulsating rhythm through the whole thing. And this is the talking to the shareholders about the unbreakable plunger. This is the unbreakable plunger. It doesn't break. It's one of the old ones. Just absolutely hilarious little like Three Stooges gag in this movie. And then what was I saying? Oh yeah, and back and forth to the sisters. You better be coming to this fucking party.
That whole sequence was just a fantastic introduction to the world this guy lives in, and the sisters. Because I think the sisters were one of my favorite parts of the movie. Just how absolutely horrible they.
Do you remember when we used to call you gay boy and you'd get mad? Why did you get mad?
Sliding glass door.
Yeah.
That whole dinner party at the sister's house, I thought was a fantastic 10-minute stretch.
Well, this is my next 10-minute stretch. It's the sister's party and then the brother-in-law with the brother-in-law in the pantry and the laundry room. And then obviously the brother-in-law then tells his wife, probably in complete privacy and worry. And then the wife immediately tells all 6 other sisters.
There's no secrets in this sisterhood whatsoever.
Yeah.
Oh God, my heart broke for him in that moment though. I cry a lot sometimes for no reason, and then he just immediately breaks down sobbing. And oh God, I've been there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And just and again, this comes at the 20-minute mark. Now, I don't want to justify his violence, but you get it. When he smashes the glass pulling doors, you get it. Obviously, that is an incredibly overly violent reaction, and he's overcoming serious anger problems. But you get it because you've just had 20 minutes of bullshit.
Yeah. Well, you can see it's sort of the only outlet he has.
Yeah. Nobody listens to him.
No one listens to him. He can't explain anything that's going on with him to anybody without fear of judgment. I mean, it's only natural that he would lash out because, I mean, the first 20 minutes of this movie are so anxiety inducing because you can see it building up in Adam Sandler, just no outlet for him. There's none.
It's the combination of private life is hell and business. His business life is a chaos, anxiety inducing hell, and then he comes home and he's either alone or he goes to see his family and they are absolutely
all universally terrible.
It was Rhonda's birthday. Hi Rhonda. It's like a jump scare. I can't remember what she says, but it was like he had the flu. It's like, hi Rhonda. And it's like they just keep coming. They just keep coming. This clown car of sisters. Then I have the phone sex, which is just a wonderfully awkward. Again, a one long shot, beautifully performed, beautifully written, and you know, like when every time he reacts when it's something overly sexual. And he's just trying to have this nice conversation, and then she'll just throw in like, "I'm just shaving my pussy," And he's like, oh, okay, that's nice. It's
That's nice.
very, very, very The Graduate.
Haven't seen The Graduate.
I know,
so.
very, very good movie. That's the top 10. That's the top 10 Thomas Carruthers. The just Dustin Hoffman. I mean, again, that's one of the first 45 minutes of The Graduate may be my favorite comedy of all time, but that's another conversation. But the stumbling nature of Dustin Hoffman as Benjamin Braddock, and okay, yeah, and
a lot of that here,
yeah, it's very good, and specifically awkwardness around sex, very good. Then I have Date Night, including absolutely wrecking the bathroom.
I think we should go. I don't think I like it here.
Yeah,
I think I don't like it here.
Sir, did you break? Sir, did you?
Oh, yeah. Sir, I'm gonna cave your fucking skull in. You need to leave.
David, we both work in hospitality. How many times on a scale of 1 to 10 a day do you have these extended conversations with somebody, and because it's not a film and because they haven't done anything that actually warrants being thrown out, in your head do you say, if you don't listen to me,
bash your head in? Oh God, I mean, I think it's something anyone that's worked in the service industry can relate to.
Yeah, and that's the sort of moments where I'm like, should we feel sorry for Barry? Of course we do, and we love Barry, and he has serious mental health issues. But I'm with the service guy. You can't just fuck up an entire bathroom. You can't just. I'm with the brother-in-law. I'm with the sisters. You can't just smash up your sister's. What are you doing? And this is of course his arc. And this is where you come in, the mediocre guy, and he's like, oh yeah, she's gonna solve all his problems. But also, she's fucked up. She's weird. I've been following you. I saw a picture of you, and I saw her following. I followed you, and you can see her following him in some of the early supermarket scenes. I didn't want to point it out to you because that was, yeah.
I didn't notice that.
She's in the back in this beautiful red dress, and she's faded and blurred. It works very well, but I didn't want to tell you. He needs me. 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 Do you know what that song's from, David?
Nope.
That is Shelley Duvall singing Wendy from The Shining, and that is from the Robert Altman Popeye movie with Robin Williams.
Oh man, that's got to be in your top 10, right? That's the number one movie of all time.
And that is the song, and that is written by Harry Nilsson. Popeye had a whole Harry Nilsson score. Yeah, Shelley Duvall singing.
They really thought that movie was going to be something, didn't they?
Well, it was Robin Williams' first movie.
Yeah.
Bizarre. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe Popeye on a rewatch is going to be. I'll be like, wow.
That's the next one. Screw the rest of Paul Thomas Anderson. We're doing.
Yeah, let's do Popeye. Emergency Popeye cast. The any other nominations, David, for best 10-minute stretch? Oh, let's talk about He Needs Me. Going to Hawaii. And all that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
delight.
And I'd say hauling his I guess second in command, not second, is gosh, who's the actor?
Louis Guzman.
Louis Guzman. Yeah, hauling him out to go pudding shopping with him.
I started with the soups, which was a good start.
Oh, just explaining his scheme. Fantastic. And Louis Guzman just kind of being along for the ride, like, okay, man. Just shoveling more pudding into the.
You okay, Barry? That's another moment where, like, later, Louis Guzman's chair just breaks. And it's not even it's not even in one of the anxiety like sequences.
It's just you get the sense this entire world could fall apart at any moment. The whole warehouse could just, and that seems to be a thing, is whenever Barry's around, especially in the office, there always seems to be something breaking or falling over or spilling all over the place. Like there's always something that's just slightly out of control with him. And I think it is, I guess, sort of like we were saying, it's a movie that doesn't focus so much on moving the plot along as it does on establishing the mood of anxiety and uncertainty, and then gives us maybe our first little bit of nice kind of solidity in their relationship, I guess.
I agree. I was wondering if this made any money. The budget was 25 million. The box office was 24.7. So it lost, and then you've got to add in marketing. Well, let's have a look at awards. So this was nominated for the Palme d'Or. Best actor went to Paul Thomas Anderson, actually, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Let me get controversies. 2020. Where's the list of the Palme d'Or winners? Palme d'Or winners. Palme d'Or winners. What won the Palme d'Or this year? Winners. 2001, I want to say 2001. Is this 2001 Cannes Film Festival? Oh, this is the sort of stuff I should look at before. No, it would be the year after, wouldn't it? It would be 2002. And director Woody Allen was also presented at the inaugural honorary Palme d'Or. The last time he'll be nominated there. In competition was, Punch Drunk Love. Okay. So speaking of accused pedophiles, Roman Polanski wins for The Pianist. And of course, he then, of course, goes on to also win Best Director at the Academy Awards. One of those times, made the best movie of the year, and you just got to suck it up and throw away your morals. Or sign a petition, like they all did. But anyway. What's your favorite Roman Polanski movie, David?
I couldn't name a single one if you asked. If you had a gun in my head.
Nor will you, for legal reasons. You seen Rosemary's Baby?
Nope.
Chinatown?
Nope.
Pianist?
Nope.
Chinatown's the best. Weirdly
I gotta say, my filmography is really lacking.
That's fine. David, what are you missing in life, though? You always say this, and I always go, what have I got over you that I have seen?
A bibliography of every film ever made, just right there in your head. It's like you've got a Rolodex of every writer, actor, and director and movie that's ever lived, as well as every Oscar winner.
Well, let's not get dark. But if I died tomorrow, David.
It's got way off track from Punch Drunk Love.
Let's get back on track. Weirdly specific favorite part. The blue, just the opening shot of him in his blue suit faded completely into the blue wall. He is just completely faded into his business. Nobody can spot him really. I mean, there's so many different ways you can read that. And those are two.
That opening shot was great because it immediately put me on edge because I was like, okay, this is a romantic comedy. And we open to a shot of Adam Sandler alone in what appears to be an empty warehouse room with nothing in it but a desk and a phone.
Did I sell you short telling you it was a rom-com?
I don't think so. No.
When I told you it was a rom-com with Adam Sandler, were you expecting it to open on aerial shots of New York City and then I'm not gonna write you a love song?
No, because
tell me
it's an Adam Sandler rom-com in that Adam Sandler is playing the romantic lead, but it is a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. So I guess I expected it to be a rom-com, but I didn't expect it to be an Adam Sandler movie, if that makes sense. I guess.
That makes sense. The car crash and then the piano, which may be the first time one of my weirdly specific favorite parts of the movie is also my change, but I cannot deny how visceral and wonderful that car accident is.
It was so unexpected.
Yeah.
It really set, but I think it set the tone for the movie fantastically, which was an overwhelming air of constantly being uncertain.
It feels like a dream sequence. It feels like he's going to wake up and then the movie's going to start, but he never wakes up. Now, I don't know if there's a really dark reading there that this is all a lie, but yeah, that's how it feels to me.
It's just one of those weird, absurdist moments, like with the chair breaking randomly underneath Louis Guzman. And it's just, there's all these little moments in this movie that just kind of happen. And you're like, okay, well, they'll get around to explaining this at some point. Like, I thought that was going to be a major plot point when I watched that. I thought, okay, so he's going to eventually take this harmonium and we're going to find out it's like full of drugs or something. And that's just, there's a car.
Harmonium.
there's a violent car wreck. This car gets flipped over. Somebody throws open the side of a van, drops this piano on the side of the street. And in the next shot, the car isn't even in the road anymore. Just the debris from the crash. Yeah, such a weird, like, but it definitely sets the tone because now you have no idea what to expect for the rest of this movie, sort of thing.
True. I love him bringing a cake to the party. We've already got a cake, and there's this huge cake. I like in the phone sex call where she goes, "Do you like porno movies?" And it sounds like Scream. It sounds like Roger Jackson. Do you like porno movies? Oh, I liked that movie. It was scary. This is a true thing. I'm going to tell this story, David. David, we went to go see Scream 5 together, and you had a whole week to prepare. You had COVID. You were both in bed with COVID, and I was like, just watch them over the weekend, and then you'll be ready. And then we were about to set off, and you came downstairs, and you said, "My review of the Scream movies, very meta." And I thought, he has not seen a goddamn Scream movie, has he?
I haven't seen a single.
And what did you it was just YouTube compilations of like, what did you miss?
Essentially, yeah, it's like everything you need to know about Scream for Scream 5. Yeah.
But you did enjoy Scream 5.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, should watch the others sometime. They're great. The crash at the warehouse, the whole like panels, all of that shit. Yeah. Another thing, just like what? The sound check. Our introduction to Philip Seymour Hoffman, the Mattress Man, just doing a sound check for a band.
Yeah, and no explanation of him or his business or anything going on there.
No explanation is the key, David.
This movie is full of like prompts that you think are going to establish like a story beat or like where we're going to explore something more, but they just kind of we leave them behind.
Yep. Yeah. Larry, oh yeah, the lorry horns in tune with the harmonium music. Like when they're leaving the restaurant and they're suddenly the da 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 da, and then the lorry's walking past. What a lorry walking past! Lorry drives past and it goes. It's like on the nose, and it's like weird, and it's wonderful. The triggering the alarm door when he's lost in the maze of doors. It's like, oh no. The phone booth screaming at his sister. Just, shut the fuck up! I deserve better. What the fuck are you talking to me like this? And then we just cut away.
I asked for the phone number. That should be enough for you. I'm sick of this bullshit. Just give me the goddamn number.
He's just.
But you know what? I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was great to see. I was like, finally, he like has the backbone for himself. It was gorgeous.
And then the light turning on in the phone booth, like the phone booth, you know, like the change from around 5 o'clock or whatever when all the lights turn on, and that's the exact moment that she picks up and hello, because you said you did a wrong pegging, didn't you? You thought, oh, this is why he likes Paul Thomas Anderson, because you were like, hello, hi, is there Elena here? Oh no, yeah, Elena's in the shower. What do you want? You thought it was going to be a big sad ending. You thought he would have gone all the way to Hawaii.
And she's cheating on her. She's married already.
I'm not going to ruin the movie because we'll end up watching it at some point or whatever. But there is a huge movie for me, which I absolutely love, which is like the big sad Tom.
Pretty much ends like that.
Pretty much ends like that, and it's big sad Tom alone vibes. And also, I don't want to like jinx my misery, but I'm going on a job now where I will have no home for a long stretch and will be traveling all the time. Like the movie, like the big sad Tom movie.
Your home is the sea. Your home is wherever you make port.
Like Bin Laden. Score, great job. Do you remember when SNL did that Little Mermaid sketch? The weekend Bin Laden died. And it was like, Also, do you remember when Trump got fucking voted in and Kate McKinnon, dressed as Hillary Clinton, performed Hallelujah?
No.
And she went, that was the sketch. You know how SNL is a sketch comedy program, and the best way to make fun of that big prick is to actually do something funny. No. Kate McKinnon dressed as Hillary Clinton. I'm sending you this now, David. Hillary Clinton dressed as Hillary Clinton, solemnly playing Hallelujah, and then going, I'm not giving up. So neither should you. Here we are. Election week, cold open. It is the most outrageous video because it is completely deadpan.
It was an overwhelming sense of doom in the country, Tom.
David, after 9/11, they made jokes. Wasn't the 9/11 the next 9/11 SNL?
9/11 was terrible, but it wasn't the death knell of American democracy in the way that Trump's election was.
I want to see your reaction as you press on this and see that I'm not lying. I've sent it to you. Oh, you're on your phone. I want to see your reaction as you press it and see Kate McKinnon dressed as Hillary Clinton playing Hallelujah.
Oh God, let's see this.
I heard there was a secret chord. This was the Saturday. This was the Saturday after the election. I know it feels fake. When people say that SNL is
I just think at some point she's gonna like crack a joke or something.
No, she performs the whole of Hallelujah genuinely. And then she goes, I'm not giving up, and neither should you.
Oh God, let's see.
When people talk about Saturday Night Liberal and all the Saturday Night Leftist, I don't agree. Oh, no, I do agree. They're definitely leftist because, like, who wouldn't be in this modern world? But anyway, let's not get political. But also,
get there's a big takes on them.
Well, bro, but like, there's a big difference between making jokes about Trump and singing Hallelujah solemnly.
This is just, God, it's like so sad.
For me, it's the dressed fully as Hillary Clinton. But anyway,
yeah. Anyways, Punch Drunk Love.
I love the handshake. I mean, it's the moment of the movie. It's the poster. It's everything. The handshake, and then she just kisses him, and there's the shadows and that beautiful silhouette and the beach and the passers-by. It's one of the most beautiful shots he's ever filmed. And then absolute opposite of that, the car hit, just absolutely, completely out of nowhere. And spin, and he looks at her and she's bleeding.
And sets him off.
And then he fucks him up.
Which was very satisfying for me to watch, I gotta say.
This is, yes, most definitely. Any weirdly specific favorite parts, David, that you enjoy? Those little tiny moments that stick out to you?
I forget what it was that had just happened, but there was a point where he runs into the office and he just lays across the harmonium, and
it's when he can see that his sister's bringing Lena to work. Yeah, so he gets his like pose, like act natural.
Yeah, lays himself out. I thought that was I thought that was cute.
No, that was good. Yeah. Let's talk the soundtrack. Best use of a song, best song, full stop. It's got to be He Needs Me because there's no other song in the soundtrack. But let's talk, and we talked about that a little bit. One of those weird off-kilter choices that just works absolutely perfectly. Let's talk about John Bryan's score. Absolutely beautiful. The love theme from this is one of my favorite pieces by John Bryan. I prefer his Magnolia score, but anyway. But the and obviously there's loads of harmonium all throughout the score. It's just absolutely delightful. What did you think of the score, David?
I thought it was fantastic. Fit the tone of the movie very, very well. It had like those kind of jaunty, sort of not jaunty, but just kind of comforting, lulling love tunes. There was always something just slightly discordant in the music as well.
Yeah.
That constantly added to that same feeling of unease and anxiety that was running through everything.
No, I agree. Best single minute, the color montages. What did you think? For me, that's like the musicals of yesteryear. Like West Side Story opens like this, and the orchestra strings warming up and all that sort of thing. Feels like an overture.
It's cool. It sort of adds into what we were talking about with this being a mood movie rather than a plot-driven movie. It's They established a mood, they established a feeling very well. Yeah, I thought they were cool. I did like the color montages.
Lena being brought to the shop by the sister, as we just talked about with the harmonium. We're going to get dinner, so do you want to come and get dinner? We're going now. Do you want to get dinner? Do you want to get dinner? I'm coming now. So, no, I definitely can. And that also has, you're going to Hawaii? Oh, maybe I should go. I'm not gonna though.
I liked Emily Watson coming back into the shop and saying and asking him out on the date, basically telling him, like, do you want to do this? I'll leave my number and address with you. Something. It's like,
thank
okay,
you.
Okay.
Meeting the mattress man and just the web of
one of my favorite lines in the movie was when, you know, after their little confrontations, like, so that's that, and then Adam Sandler's walking out, and the mattress man comes out and says, "That's what you get for being a pervert." And he turns, "What did I tell you?" That's that.
That's that. And he just turns away. Phyllis Hoffman, absolutely wonderful in this lovely little supporting role. Fuck, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. I was thinking about this. People talk about Anderson being an excellent writer. And how many scenes of Anderson just are people both screaming at one another, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. You're so stupid, you're so stupid, you're so stupid.
What people do when you're in an argument.
I know.
Like that,
yeah.
No one is eloquently laying out their case against. People just start screaming, shut the fuck up, back and forth until someone does.
I'm not going to shoot you in this, or they think they're being witty and they're stupid. I'm not going to shoot you in the state you're in. State I'm in? California? I know what fucking state I'm in, Jack. It's my big dick. I'm ready to shoot. I love big ass. The getting lost in the maze of halls. I don't think any of us don't understand the anxiety. And thank God that was a beautiful romantic montage, because if that had the music, the tense music underneath, I'd be like, oh my God. It's like when people talk about horror movies where, like, I don't know what it's like to be eaten by a vampire. I know what it's like to have a nail in my foot or a sharp thing in my foot. That like, and so they're always the biggest scares. I don't know what a werewolf tearing me apart would feel like. I know what hitting my head and bleeding feels like. All that sort of thing.
One really cool thing about that whole montage running through, I think it kind of ran throughout a lot of the movie because I kept talking about it, was I really liked the way that Adam Sandler was constantly being framed in his shots through door frames, and, hallways, and it was always like he was boxed in some way in almost every shot that he was in, which I just thought was a neat element and really kind of built the mood.
No, I agree. That's good. Best line. Do you have any that off the top of your head?
No.
I mean, obviously, there's "I have the love in my life. It makes me stronger than anything you can imagine." And I guess that's that, mattress man. And again, and bye-bye, you fucking, bye-bye, you stupid motherfucker. Like, there's the real shit people say. Here we go. Shut up, shut the fuck up, shut up. Will you shut the fuck up? Will you shut up now? Are you threatening me, dick? Why don't you go fuck yourself? Fuck. Did you just say fuck myself? Yes, I did. That wasn't good. You're dead. And again, yeah. I want to talk about this. The amount of, how many times are you with your partner and you're so fucking cringy?
Oh, and all the time. Everything I do is cringy.
And it's like, in those moments, you two are absolutely in love, and it's like, oh, he's a poet. But in reality, if I was watching you two say your cute things, and if you were watching me say our cute things, I'd be like, ugh. But this is the thing, and this has a lovely moment of that. I'm looking at your face and I just want to smash it. I just want to fucking smash it with a sledgehammer and squeeze it. You're so pretty. And then she comes back. I want to chew your
faces all chewing on.
I want to chew your face, and I want to scoop out your eyes, and I want to eat them, and I want to chew them, and I want to suck on them. Okay, this is funny. This is nice.
Yeah. No, it is. I think we all know that feeling too, of when something is just so cute or so attractive to you, you just can't like squeeze it tight enough.
Well, it's how many times with babies do we say, oh, they're so cute, I could just eat them. And it's like, what? You want to eat a baby?
Devour this child.
What's
Yeah.
what's the I know you haven't seen an Austin Powers, have you?
It's I've seen some of the Austin. I've seen the Austin Powers.
Get in
movies.
my belly.
Get in my belly. I want my baby back ribs. I want my
yeah.
baby back ribs.
Completely anachronistic because it's 1966, but I guess that's that. I love Austin Powers. Spy Who Shagged Me, great movie. What am I talking about here? Oh no, that's best facts. We're getting to that later. A couple more best lines. You fucking phony, chatty piece of shit. I have to renew my gym membership. You sound very nice and very personable. I'm probably not gonna go though. And could you take me where the beaches and the hotels are? And I'm gonna need a phone. Lovely stuff. What's the change? I have a couple. Why would he tell when he's on the phone with the deal person? Why would he tell the person that the deal doesn't work? Are you aware that it doesn't? That you could be setting yourself up for major work? Why would you tell somebody that? Because they're going to sort it out.
It was an element of his character. I think he doesn't. It sounds too good to be true. He's like, it's like, do you guys know that you're making a mistake? Because you are sort of. I don't know. It felt to me like he's an honest person. He doesn't really have like deviousness in him in that way. He's not a scheming person.
Okay, I agree with you on that. And in Punching the Wall, I love being written out on his knuckles. It's fucking it's fucking stupid. Absolutely bullshit. And I was looking at the IMDb trivia, and it says, when Barry punches the wall, it says love on his knuckles, as if that's a subtle thing that people don't notice.
It's literally in frame, like practically like this. Just laid out on the harmonium as he drags his knuckles along it. You can't not see it.
It's fucking cringe and it's fucking stupid. Are you going to fight for that one, David, or are you with me?
I thought it was, you could have taken it or left it. I think they had built the mood. It was just another absurdist thing to throw in there, I think.
Yeah. Any other changes, David?
I can never really think of. Yeah,
because I think it is a perfect film. It just doesn't click for me.
Yeah, I think everything that's in there feels very much of the world of this film and feels like it builds on each other. But yeah, I guess I think I don't think there's really anything that needs to be changed because I think it all works quite well together. It just might not be your particular favorite.
My taste. So a few fun facts. A subplot of the film was inspired by an article in Time magazine about David Phillips, a University of California civil engineer who stumbled upon a lucrative frequent flyer promotion. By purchasing 12,150 cups of Healthy Choice pudding for just $3,000, he accumulated 1.25 million air miles.
And he's still using them today.
Yeah. During the scenes where Barry is in the supermarket, I told you about this. Like you can see later in the background. Yes, it's very good.
It's a very neat element. I didn't notice it at all.
You'll notice it on your second watch. Of the four movies we've watched at this halfway mark,
what's my favorite movie so far?
I'd say, what's your favorite movie so far, and what do you think you're going to rewatch in the future?
Boogie Nights.
Hey! We like it. We like it. You're officially out of lives, Jack. It's grown on you, hasn't it? It's grown on you. I knew it would.
It's utterly miserable watching it through the first time, but yeah, it's got so much fun stuff in it for sure. And Magnolia's
movies can be good. We can make them
Magnolia's
better.
3-hour movie. I mean, it's tough to just sit and rewatch any movie that's 3 hours because that's a hell of a fucking commitment to make.
3 hours and 8 minutes, David. 3 hours and 8 minutes. Paul Thomas Anderson first announced that his follow-up to Magnolia would be an Adam Sandler comedy at a press conference at the Cannes Film Festival. The news was greeted with laughter. When Punch Drunk Love eventually played at Cannes, Anderson won the Best Director award and was nominated for the festival's top prize, the Palme d'Or. Months later, Sandler was nominated for a Golden Globe in the musical or comedy category. What else? Oh yeah, just as the film... Okay, this is sad. Just as the film was entering production, the long-term relationship between Mary Lynn Rajskub, who is Gail the Snail in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and is the, let's call her the main sister in this. She has the most scenes.
Yeah, she's the one that's around and introduces Lena.
Yeah, so she was composed. So she had a long-term relationship with composer John Bryan, and it came to an end during this, which meant that during his scoring, there were days when Bryan was forced to watch his ex-girlfriend on screen for up to 8 hours at a time. In order to, this is quite literally the plot. This is quite literally some of the opening scenes of Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Just moody and intense. Do you like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, David?
I've seen it.
Oh, it fucking rules, David. Jason Segel, Jonah Hill. I just went from 12 to midnight. The 6 to midnight.
It feels like the beginning to the plot of like a psychological horror movie of just this man watching hours and hours and hours of footage of his ex while scoring it. That could definitely lead into like,
good, David. Let's make that movie like Blowout. Oh yeah, that sounds good. In order to heal from the experience, Bryan urged Fiona Apple to work on some songs for a new album. Coincidentally, the resulting album was Extraordinary Machine, which is widely speculated to be about Apple's breakup from Paul Thomas Anderson. Fiona Apple is the woman from that Magnolia video I showed you.
oh,
Yeah. That's my Cineworld card. At 95 minutes, this is still the shortest film that Paul Thomas Anderson has written and directed. Working titles include Punch Drunk Knuckle Love. No. The X4 Project. I don't know what.
X4 Project.
And this one works. Just Desserts. I think if it was called Just Desserts, I think people would be coming to this movie thinking it was Grown Ups 3.
Yeah, Punch Drunk Love, I think is an excellent title. They made the right choice there.
John C. Reilly was originally to play one of the men who came from Utah to collect the money, but Reilly thought that it was a strange role for him, considering how people would recognize him and wonder why he was not doing more. Nice little, humble brag there.
Philip Seymour Hoffman is in the same position. He's got all of 10 minutes of screen time in this, and
yeah, but to me that feels like the best supporting actor, like 5 minute. He's going to do 5 minutes and he's going to get nominated for best.
Sure, but then actor. Why wouldn't the men from Utah be the same thing?
Because they don't. I can kind
they
of.
They barely have any lines. Yeah.
But of course now John C. Reilly has a cameo in Licorice Pizza. So. An internet fan theory posits, I don't know if you'll like this, let's see, contains numerous references to Superman. Barry is always wearing a blue suit. By collecting the free air miles, he can now fly anywhere he wants. And in fact, in one scene, he actually attempts to physically fly, jumping from the balcony and landing in the street. Finally, when Leda holds Barry, her red dress resembles a cape. That to me reeks of bullshit, but how was it for you?
It's a tenuous. I did kind of that. Now that I think about that shot where he is sprinting away from the assailants and he throws himself over that railing, I did think he's awfully spry because he bodily threw himself forward. He didn't jump over. He nosedived over it and then immediately is running off. He didn't just face plant on the concrete.
The inspiration for the film, one of the inspirations, came from an episode of Cops that Paul Thomas Anderson had seen. In the episode, a man getting arrested was telling a police officer about various issues he had with different sisters. When the officer finally asked the man just how many sisters he had, the man sadly replied, 7. The footage from the first 2 weeks of filming was discarded and reshot after Paul Thomas Anderson described that he was not happy with how he had directed it. He would then do this again with There Will Be Blood.
What was he? Do we know what they had filmed?
Doesn't say. Tom's big question. Better movie with... Okay, this is a stupid one. What's a better movie with Adam Sandler with a thermos? Is it this or Who Be Halloween?
It's this.
It's this movie, yeah. That's all I have. That's all I have for Punch Drunk Love. David, any final thoughts on this? Let's call it the midpoint of our Paul Thomas Anderson a thon.
It's going to be difficult not to watch any more of his filmography over the next 5 months. You know.
Well, you can, David, if you like. I'll allow them. I'll allow you to watch them, and then just keep the hot takes coming.
Sounds good. I've got a question for you. Who is the superior Anderson, Wes or Paul?
What do we mean by superior?
Who do you prefer? Who do you think?
I prefer Paul Thomas Anderson.
Who do you think's the stronger director of the two?
They're not even close. This is the problem. Like, I love these.
They're completely different from one another, but they both got such strong styles. I don't know.
I would say. Wes Anderson has more movies that I feel that I dislike. Not that I dislike. I don't dislike any of the Wes Anderson movies. Wes Anderson overall has more movies that I feel like, okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I think.
What about you? What about you?
It's sort of Wes Anderson cranks out a lot more movies that are very distinctly his, which means I think he has more that I'm like, okay, that's a movie that
I don't know if he does. He's about 9 as well, or 9 or 10.
Does he? I feel like
Bottle Rocket Rushmore, Royal Tenenbaums, Darjeeling Limited, Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, Isle of Dogs, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Grand Budapest, Moonrise Kingdom, French Dispatch.
yeah,
That's
I guess
10.
he is sitting at 10, yeah. So
Did I get them all?
maybe. I couldn't tell you, honestly.
Let's have a look. I'm gonna either be a complete sham.
Turns out he's got like 30 movies out.
No, yeah. You just didn't know. No, I was correct for 10. Well, it's the same. This is what we were talking about in our first episode. It's the same era. Rushmore comes out same year as. Rushmore. Tarantino has 9. He has 9, and Wes Anderson has 10. It's that same sort of. And how many does Fincher have? 9 or 10? I think Fincher also has 10.
I'd say Paul Thomas Anderson can tell more versatile stories, whereas I think Wes Anderson has to focus on, or he tells a very specific sort of stylized story.
Well, yes, it was a fun posing question, David.
Yes.
Because we now head into a whole new Anderson. And although it does feel constantly like, oh, no, I can see what came before, it feels wholly different. And it's very, 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 very exciting. David, I will see you in 5 months. Audience, we will see you in 1 week.
Da ba da ba da ba da.